How's it going, my fellow Planeswalkers? Welcome back to my channel. Today, on this episode of MTG Arena with champmoish, we are doing an Amass deck. So basically, about a week ago, I did a deck covering one of the new mechanics for the War of the Spark expansion, which is Proliferate, which I felt to be quite a success. The deck works out beautifully. Out of the two mechanics, I would definitely say Proliferate is more competitive and definitely more consistent. But this Amass is pretty fun, it's pretty cool. I figured we'd give it a shot today. It's a fun deck. Some people are quite underwhelmed with the Amass ability, but I'm having a boatload of fun with it. So let's get into the breakdown. Before I do, I want to give you guys a reminder to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so starting off, we have some good old hand hate. So we're running quite a bit of hand hate, actually. We were running some duress, some thought erasures, and we have a new card over here, Toll of the Invasion, which essentially does the same thing as Thought Erasure, just for 3 mana, one of which must be black, and you amass one as well. Okay, so going on. So we have Duress, 2 Duress, we have 2 Blinks of an Eye, we have 4 Dreadhorde Invasions. Okay. This card is key in this deck. It is actually a backbone to this deck, and this deck would not be the same without this. If you're thinking about making an Amass deck, you need to have Dreadhorde Invasion. It's the only way to make this really work. So basically, it's a 2-drop enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. So for those of you who don't know what Amass is essentially you create a army creature token, which is it's just 1 token. I know when you think army, you're figuring you're gonna have a few of them, but it's just 1 creature token. For example, if you amass 1, you're gonna create. If you have no token, you're just gonna create a token and put 1/1/1 counter on it. If it would be amass 2, you'd put 2 1/1 counters on it, and so on and so forth. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until the end of the turn. So basically, essentially what you want to be doing is you want to be getting this card down, ideally turn 2. You want to get it down as soon as possible. It's a bit of investment because you do lose life until you hit that power 6 or greater, until the point you get lifelink, and that's where we have actually Gleaming Overseer. Because you want to be able to have your token being protected. So this card right over here gives him Hexproof Menace, which is very important. Okay, so we have 3 Discovery Dispersals. This is for some card draw, some good old hand hate right over here. We're running 4 Thought Erasures. We have 2 Sinister Sabotages, 2 Cry of the Carnions. This is for some more of those aggro decks. Then we have Toll of the Invasion. As I said before, this is pretty much a Thought Erasure that gives you an Amass 1. We have 4 copies of Gleaming Overseer. So I would say ideally you want to start off turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Dreadhorde Invasion, turn 3 Gleaming Overseer. You want to be able to protect your army. It needs to be protected. If you don't protect it, essentially you're just losing life. And I've lost the game because my opponent was able to just keep on systematically removing my army token. With Dreadhorde Invasion down on the field, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. You cannot let the opponent get you down to 1 life. If you get down to 1 life, it's game over. There's nothing you can do about it. Dreadhorde Invasion is going to commit you suicide. Then we have 2 Crushed Descents, which is just another counter spell over here. It's not the greatest counter spell, but it helps you amass, which is a nice way to hit the 6 power and getting some lifelink back. So I figured I'm going to be playing around with 2 copies of Crushed Descent. We have 4 Vraska's Contempt for some good old removal. Then we have Angrath, Captain of Chaos. So this is one of those Planeswalkers that do get play. There are some Planeswalkers I'm finding from the new expansion that aren't really getting much love, but Angrath definitely gets some love. His -2 is Amass 2, and creatures you control have Menace. And as I said before, when a creature has Menace, he becomes a real menace, because it's just difficult to block him out. And you know, hopefully with our Dreadhorde Invasions down, the creature is going to be rather powerful, and then he's hard to block as well. It's just great. And we have 2 copies of Enter the God Eternals. This card is huge. I love this card. If I had more copies, I probably would not be playing more of them. I figure 2 copies of Enter the God Eternals is a great fit into this deck. Basically, you get 4 amounts of value. It comes into the field, you do 4 damage to target creature. Then you gain 4 life back. Then the opponent discards 4 cards, and then I amass 4. So it's a bunch of 4s that are happening over here. I really love it. Enter the God Eternals is great. Then we have 2 copies of Liliana, Dreadhorde General, and this is why I'm calling this deck Liliana's Amassed Army, because yeah, it's Liliana who's calling this Dreadhorde Invasion. This is a great planeswalker, probably the most OP planeswalker from this new expansion. At 6 mana, it comes in at 6 loyalty, and whenever a creature you control dies, you get to draw a card. +1 ability is you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and its -4 is each player sacrifices 2 creatures. So you know, if you need to go ahead and sacrifice 2 creatures, sometimes it's necessary to do this. If you have any creatures down on the field, you're going to draw some cards. So, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Also, if you get to hit off her ultimate, it's game over. 100% game over. Because check this out, -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. And that includes lands. It does not say non-land permanents. So by the time you get Dreadhorde General down, and by the time you have her up to her ultimate, the opponent must have a good 5, 6, 7 lands down on the field. If you knock them off, you know, down to 1 land, it's too crippling. You just can't come back from that. Then we have 9 islands, 10 swamps, 2 drowned catacombs, and 3 watery graves. All right, so this is Liliana's Amass army. Let's get into round 1. I'll do the typical 3-match setup and see how this goes. Okay, so I think I will keep this because I do have somewhat of a curve going on over here. I could always start off turn 1 Duress into a blink of an eye if I have to until Gleaming Overseer. Hopefully by that point, I'll roll into a Dreadhorde Invasion. So I think I'll keep this. I am new to this deck. I just put this together actually a few minutes ago. And we're still playing with it. We're still figuring out how to work this. Okay, so he has Mortify. I think I'm going to get rid of Sorin. Yeah, I think that was the best play. So let's look. He has 2 Mortifies in hand. He has a Tyrant Scorn and some land. I don't know what this new card is, but he doesn't have a blue source. So that's always good. Gleaming Overseer. That'll protect our token. So here's the problem. It's not a problem, I would say. It's actually a great Amass card. The problem is I don't have a copy. That's the problem. There is a card called Lazotep Armor, and what Lazotep Armor essentially does is it makes you hexproof and all your permanents hexproof, and then I think you also amass 1. So I think that has to be some sort of auto include in this deck. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy, so I can't play it. Oh, beautiful. I love being able to deal with the Thief of Sanity as it hits the field. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. If we could hit on curve for our Liliana, I think we'll be in a very sweet spot. So we got rid of his Sorin, he got rid of his Tyrant Scorn. He has 2 Mortifies in hand. And oh shit, I think we may be seeing ourselves at Teferi, boys. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Is it more important for me to get Liliana next turn? Should I do a discovery and, you know, surveil a bit and assure that I get a land next turn? Or do I go for the Angrath and just build up my token? The truth is, I think Liliana's a better play. You know, if you guys thought this was a misplay, drop it down in the comments below. I'm still learning this deck. So, ooh. Yeah, that's a bit hefty. That's actually overkill. I'm only going to take 1 of those. Okay, so that's nice. So at least we have Liliana coming in next turn. So long as he's not holding on to any counter spells, I think we should be pretty good. He also may have a Teferi, which would be highly unfortunate. He has the perfect setup for it. Hero of Precinct. No, not today. I think I'm going to send you back into hand. I want to build up my tokens before I do the -2. Fortify. Okay, so he's going to create himself a 1/1 token, but that's not a biggie. That's no biggie. I'll just go ahead and create a 2/2 token of my own. Oh, just phenomenal. He's probably going to throw down the Hero of Precinct 1 next turn, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a Cry of the Carnarium. The one problem with Cry of the Carnarium now is a fish. From my understanding, is the ruling is that when a creature dies, it goes to the graveyard, and if it gets exiled, it doesn't really die. So I don't know if it's going to trigger me drawing a card. but we shall find out. I'll actually like if he wastes his Mortify right now on this. Oh no, that's probably a Vraska's Contempt. Oh, please not be a Vraska's Contempt. I would really hate if that's a Vraska's Contempt. You know what? If he has to think so much about it, it's probably not a Vraska's Contempt. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to swing in on an attack. So, you know, maybe he won't block off. I don't think he will, so at least I'll hit him for 2 more damage. Then I'll Cry the Carnarium, wipe the whole board free. Then do Liliana's +1, so I'll be on the board with something and he won't. And then, you know, next turn maybe I'll just go into Ingrath. Okay. That works with me so far. Oh, that was just fantastic. Okay, so we're perfect. I get my card draw because the opponent actually ended up killing my stuff. We're going to just wipe him free, and then I think this is when we're going to see the opponent concede. I think just about this point in time. We may actually hit off our ultimate. If I could get to number 9, I'm just going to do it right away and sacrifice Liliana to get it. All right, beautiful. Okay, so that worked out nicely. So first victory was in our pocket. Definitely a good beginning. Okay, so this is a bit more land heavy than I typically would like to go. But once again, I do have some plays. I mean, I think I'll stick with it. And I'm still learning this deck. Oh, okay, it's one of those guys. We're going up against red aggro. Unless I draw for myself a Cry the Carnarium, and soon, I think we're gonna have some difficulty. Right up to stage. As if mono red aggro needed anything to make it more powerful, I had to get a card like light up the stage. Okay. I think I'm just quite disappointed with how often I'm getting beat by mono red aggro. But I do have Cry the Carnarium in this deck. Discovery Disperse. Yes, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this like this. So next turn, I'll Toll the Invasion. Hopefully rid them of something pretty key. And then create myself a token. Yes. You know what? I'm really hoping to draw into something that I can use. You know what? I take it back. I'm going to go for Gleaming Overseer. I need to have some blockers on the field. He'll probably waste a Fanatical Firebrand to get rid of this. At least I hope he does, because... No, actually, I don't hope he does. Okay. He's going to just swing right on by with these 2 bad boys. It would be a good time to roll into a Cry the Carnarium right now. And skewer the critics right in the face. Get up to stage. God. It's 2 light up to stages, and he's holding on over here to 2 lightning strikes, which I don't like to see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check out his hand real quick. Wizard's Lightning, skewer the critics. Let me think the best play. The best play would be to get rid of the skewer the critics, because he'll be able to play that. Okay. He probably should have taken that moment, by the way, to pop this off. Oh, he actually can't because he has hexproof. My bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is enter the God Eternals, knock off one of these 10 Street Dodgers. At least I'm going to gain 4 life with Enter the God Eternals, which is pretty important. He's going to swing in with just 1. Oh, actually, okay, by the way, we actually may have a shot over here. Because now this guy is going to be boosted up. then he's going to be coming a 6/6, can't be removed. I'm going to throw down a Dreadhorde Invasion, and then I'm going to get in life gain. Okay, so I think we're in a pretty sweet spot right now. I'm going to attack. Yes, I want to put on some pressure on him. And he won't be able to remove me with Wizard's Lightning. He could hit me in the face. I think we're good. Yeah, we're absolutely good right now. I don't see a way he could get rid of my army creature token. And it's already a 6/6. So it's going to come in with lifelink. Fantastic. Okay. We're exactly where we need to be. And that's game. I'm pretty sure that's game. Swing in like this. We got lifelink going on. The problem with mono red aggro is if you lose any form of steam, it's just all over with. Okay, so that was beautiful. I'm glad that Dreadhorde Invasion came right at the opportune moment. And you also see why Enter the God Eternals is so important. It bought me some life that I needed. It gave my army creature token a boost when it was needed. And I mean, the mill part is not the biggest deal. I would be totally fine if the mill part of the card was not even a thing. But I guess in some decks it could be beneficial. But for what I'm doing, it's not much of a big deal. I'm going to keep this. We do have Thought Erasure. We had Dreadhorde Invasion. This is great. I'm telling you, these two cards in conjunction with each other are just phenomenal. Although I do like to start off doing some hand hate. I figure, you know, you want to see what the opponent is working with, and you could play accordingly. Okay. Yeah, definitely going to go into Thought Erasure and to the Enter the God Eternal. So he is probably going to be using some enchantment removal. Maybe Assassin something. But let's see if I could get to it first. Vraska's Content, Jade Light Ranger, Bolas Citadel. So Bolas Citadel is a late game play. However, I do know what he's doing over here. He's doing a scheme with the Golgari, with the Wild Growth Walkers, that being that it gains life, he's just going to essentially cast old stuff for free on the top of his deck. I actually think the best play is just get rid of the Jade Light Ranger. Oh, yes. Okay, this is great, because even if he Vraska's my token, I'm just going to keep on bringing it back. Okay. It's fine. Fine. Okay, that's not so fine, but whatever. As long as he doesn't have a Wild Growth Walker, we're pretty okay. So we're going to go over here. I'm hoping that I will draw a playable card right now. Maybe a Vraska's Contempt of my own. Because Enter the God Eternals is a 5 cost. That's a problem with it. It's a bit more expensive. Oh, shoot. Okay, so he's got... Oh, okay. So he's got plenty of removal going. He's for sure going to get the Enter the God Eternal, the Bolas Citadel. Maybe I should have removed it if I had an opportunity. Maybe that was a misplay on my behalf. But oh well. I do have Blink of an Eye still, and I do have some counter spells, so maybe at one point in the game I'll be able to blink it back into his hand and then counter as he tries to throw it back onto the field. But for the time being, this is good. So at least we're going to have lifelink when we come in now, so long as he doesn't have any made become from among them, put in hand. That includes a land. Okay, so he got the Wild Growth Walker. Yes, that actually works out phenomenal. Okay. And oh, great. And I could also make him hexproof now. So I wonder if he's going to go for the Vraska's Contempt or if he's going to go straight into the Citadel. Oh, and he's also running Guy's Blessing. It's a good thing I'm not playing though. Okay, so now we're pretty much even once again. I'm hoping he goes for the Bolas Citadel. Great. Okay, so he went for the Bolas Citadel. I have Gleaming Overseer now, so he's going to become protected. If he can't play anything from the top of his deck, it's because he has a land on top of his deck. He played a land this turn already. Yes! Oh, that was nice. Okay, so let me think how I'm going to play this. I'm going to swing in right now. He can't do... Okay, so this is good. I'm going to swing in like this. I get my life link. He's probably going to trade off. Yes, it's only probable for him to trade off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go with my Gleaming Overseer into the Cry of the Carnarium, this is great because now I removed any sort of defenders on his end of the board, and he can't directly target my army. I don't like that fact that he has 20 life, because right now, essentially, he could play a lot of things. So he played a land. Let's hope to the high heavens that there's another land on top of his deck. Because if I could slow him down that way, yes, I'm going to enter the God Eternals on him again. The problem with this is now he's actually going to be able to keep on playing, feeling pretty good about himself, knowing, oh, well, we have the advantage. And I could always, okay, so I'm going to get rid of this, make him mill some stuff, gain some life. Oh, this is just beautiful. I'm liking how this is playing off. Also, if I make him waste his cards in his hand, and then I can make him do a dispersal when he has nothing in his hand, he's going to lose his Bola Citadel, which is going to leave us in a sweet spot. Anyway, we just swung in for 14 damage right over here, boys, and that was sweet. I'm wondering if he's going to use the Vraskos to try to get rid of the Gleaming Overseer and then try to knock this guy off. It may be a bit too late for him. Yeah, I think he's going to go for the Vraska. Yeah, so he went for the Vraska. He may now have a Murder or something that he could play to get rid of this. I hope not. How did that just happen? Oh, from the top of his deck, he had a Ravenous Chupacabra. Oh, wow. So he may be able to turn this around. That's a problem. That's actually a massive problem. Okay, he's still paying. He doesn't have, so long as he doesn't have a Wild Growth Walker, he could only do this a limited amount of times. Oh, yes. Okay. Get rid of another Bola Citadel. Give me a Cry of the Carnarium. I could wipe out these guys next. All hope may not be lost. So long as he can't go into another Wild Growth Walker. Okay. So the problem is he's going to keep this land in his hand indefinitely because he actually doesn't want to play lands from his hand. Okay. He actually made a massive mistake because now the Bola Citadel is gone. And it's gone. Okay, I feel like we're in a sweet spot now. No matter what he does, we should be pretty good. I'll just wait it out, turn it 2 until my zombie army just becomes strong enough for me to swing in. He could target it with, you know, some more Vraska's Contempt and stuff. I don't envision seeing him playing more than 2 copies of Bola Citadel because it's a legendary artifact, and once you get it on the field, it's very costly as well. It's probably just going to be clogging up his deck. So I think this is good. I think this is pretty good. We got rid of both his stuff. And then now we have another Dreadhorde army, Dreadhorde Invasion. I come in next turn at 5. Do I wait another turn? I suppose I could wait one more turn for the Cry of the Carnarium. Even if he wipes this off right now, I'm fine. I feel like I have enough life as a buffer zone to deal with this. Okay, now that is a bit of a problem. We're going to have to deal with that. I have, how many Vraskas? I didn't use any Vraskas yet. I used both my copies of... Yeah, I used both my copies of Enter the God Eternals, though, so that's not good. Okay, this is nice, so we're going to be boosting up a little bit over here. If I could get another Gleaming Overseer, I'll be very happy. Oh, wow. 3 copies of Dreadhorde Invasion. If I swing right now, he has to defend, obviously. He has to defend because this is lethal. He has to defend or he has a removal. I wonder if he'll trade off. No, he won't trade off enough, obviously. Okay. So next turn, I'm going to have lifelink. So long as he doesn't remove him. I just need to get I need a way to get rid of the Wild Growth Walker. Don't have Bond of Flourishing yet. He's for sure going to pull an Explorer creature right now. Yeah, okay, that was to be expected. And he gained some life doing that too. You gain 3 life. This is a great card, Bond of Flourishing. And yep, and then he Veraska'd. Okay, so now I'm starting to not feel as comfortable as I was before. Get the fuck out! Who's playing 3 copies of Bola Citadel? No way. Okay, that's a problem. That's actually quite a problem. I need a way to get rid of the Wild Growth Walker. So we're gonna wipe. Yeah, actually that didn't do anything for me. And he has, yeah, so he probably has the game now. I was not counting on him having 3 copies of Bola Citadel. The Evil Queen is indeed evil. And here she goes. Oh, he could play. That's why he's playing Wayward Swordtooth. Genius. Absolutely genius addition to this deck. And of course, he could afford to play 3 Bola Citadel because he could play Wayward Swordtooth and then play 2 lands a turn. I'm not liking the fact that he's looking at his graveyard either. I guess he's trying to figure what he could pull from the top of his deck. Aya's Blessing. Okay. I believe this is game over. I'm not going to concede prematurely, but I don't see a way getting around this. It's not like I have any creatures that are giving him flying or you know, unblockable or anything like that. So I'm going to let that hit. I'm at least going to have lifelink now. It's going to buy me another turn. But at the cost of losing 3 life. And yeah, I know what's in his hand. I can't do anything like that. Yeah, there's nothing to be done. The game is lost. It was a good one though. It was fun. It was definitely fun. I'll just take it to the end because he fought very valiantly. 3 copies of Bola Citadel is definitely a ballsy move in my opinion. I figure it'll just clog up the deck. Bond of Flourishing seems like it's a very key card in this deck. So perhaps I try to do this. What? He's playing 4 copies of Bola Citadel. Wow. Maybe that's why my deck wasn't very efficient. I'm only playing 2 copies of mine. You know, if you guys think 4 copies of Bola Citadel is a bit overkill, let me know in the comments below. I personally would never play it like that. Maybe I'm missing something. It's not like any abilities compile upon each other. You can only have 1 down on the field. Yes, I suppose you will have it when you need it. Okay, with this happening right over here, it's all over. He could play 4 land a turn, so he could essentially just go right on through his Bola Citadel, no matter how many lands he gets caught up in. He's for sure going to find any form of creature, even a land or elf now explores the path of discovery. It was a good match. It was a good match, you know. I'm going to give this guy a good game. Good game, and I am going to do a graceful bow out right now. I actually die. Okay. That was nice. That was definitely nice. It was a fun match, Evil Queen. I appreciate it. Alrighty, okay. So this was my Liliana's Amass army. We managed to go 2 for 1. It's pretty cool. I like it. If you guys have any input onto this deck, drop it down in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve my brews. This is a fun thing. If you haven't tried out Amass, I recommend you give it a shot. It's nothing competitive, but it's a new mechanic and it's fun to play with. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great evening.